Hello and welcome to this lecture. In this lecture, we are going to be creating the structure for the calculator using HTML. So this is my text editor I'll be using to write the HTML code, which is a text editor called Sublime Text. The way I'm going to structure this lecture is to add chunks of code at a time, and then I explain the code to you rather than you watch me type and take up too much time. I have added some basic tags. These are tags that you will find in every web page or every web application. They are standard tags that you will see. So let me explain each one very quickly. On line 1, we've got the doc type. The doc type basically is there for information and purposes. What it does, it instructs the web browser or any browser that's trying to display the page. It just lets them know that the content of the page is HTML. That's the purpose of the doc type. And the HTML next to it just indicates it's an HTML document. So the actual HTML content is between this line number 2 and line 14. So any of the content that's displayed on the web page, the content starts from the HTML there to this HTML tag here. So most tags have an opening and a closing tag, so they all come in pairs. The head, notice also it's indented properly, so you can tell that the head and the body are both children of the HTML element, and the title here tag is a child of the head tag. The in between the head tag is where you find things like the title, a link to any CSS or script or JavaScript. Most times you can include them in the head section. You can also include several meta tags. Meta tags are used to provide extra information about the document that you are trying to display. And the actual content of the page that visitors or anyone sees is between the body tag. So anything between the body tag is visible. I have added some more chunk of code. I've added from line 4 to line 7. So there's a few meta tags here. Line 4 basically is a meta tag, and it's got an attribute of car set with a value of UTF-8. The car set attribute basically specifies the character encoding for the HTML document. Line 5 here, again, it's another meta tag with the attribute of name equals description. And also we've got another attribute here, content equals JavaScript calculator. So this is descriptive of the document. These information here, the meta tag, they are used to provide extra information which helps the search engines to display data, relevant data. Line 6, the meta tag here with the name of attribute, with this attribute here called name and the value of viewport. Notice most attributes have the values enclosed in quotes. So here on line 6, the value for this name meta tag, this name attribute, is viewport. And then we've also got the content here, and the value is width equals device dash width. And it's also got an initial dash scale equals 1. What the viewport is, the viewport refers to the screen that is going to view this calculator. So it will resize to whatever. So this one makes the web page or the web application displaying this calculator, makes it responsive. That means it will be responsive to any device regardless of the size. It will auto resize itself to fit that screen device. Regardless of the device type, it will fit the screen. And this initial scale here is just to zoom, is the initial zoom. So if you want to zoom higher, you can zoom as you want in and out of the device. That's what this scale is. It's just a zoom. Line 7 is a reference to the style sheet that I'll be using. I'll be using this. This is the style sheet here I've defined on here. So this is just a link to the style sheet. Line 9, we spoke about line 9 before, is just a title for the calculator. So I've added some more code here. Line 14 and 15. Line 14 basically is a heading tag that we'll use to give a title to the application page. So that's just what it is. It's a heading tag. And the BR here is a break tag, which means after this line, it will give a space underneath. That's basically what the break means. It means once you get to the end of this line, create a space. So anything else that needs to follow will come after this space has been created using the BR tag. I have added some more code on line 16 and 17. Line 16 is I've created a form. The calculator is going to be created inside the form. So all the inputs and everything will be enclosed in a form. So the form, I've given it an ID equals to my form. And I've also given it a name equals to calc, C-A-L-C. So giving it an attribute. So this is an attribute, a name attribute, giving it with a name of calc. All right. So it's got two attributes. One's an ID and then one is a name. I've also on line 17 created an input field. This is where the answers for the calculator will be displayed. So giving it a name attribute and with a value of display. So actually, let me save this and see if we can see the input. Okay, so this is the input we've just created, and that is the heading tag. So we can see the input here. So the answers for the calculator will be displayed inside this input. On line 18, I've got another input tag, but the type of input is a button. So the attribute type here equals the value of button, and the value of that button will be 0. So this is where we'll be creating the actual keys for the calculator. So let me show you, let's see what it looks like, because all we're going to do is just copy and paste it and create the other keys. You can see we've just created a 0. So I'm going to copy the same and change a few things, and we can get the rest of the keys popping up. So that's just how you create the individual keypads on the calculator using this input tag with a type equals button. The value will be the key. So be 0 followed by 1 and so on. Okay, I have now added more code to create all the keys we'll use as keypad for the calculator. So basically this is how you create the keys. So the first one with the value of this will be keypad 0, 1, 2, 3, and this will be the plus symbol. Notice this break here means after the plus symbol, give a break and start a new line. So we've got 3, 4, 5 keys. And then after that, we've got the minus key and then a break. Next, we've got 6, 7, 8. And then this is a multiplication symbol and then a break. This is number 9. To add this is an entity. This is what we use to create the division symbol. Okay, so it's used, notice here we've got equals to, but for division you need to use this entity, HTML entity, to create the symbol. So let me save that, and then you can see how it looks. So this should give us the full structure of our app. I'll just refresh. As you can see, we've got all the keypads we need for the calculator. So we've got the structure, the HTML structure in place. In the next lecture, we'll be styling it to make it look prettier. That's it for this lecture. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.